Well, he faked a racist attack in Chicago, and now he's facing a court of law. Jussie Smollett's trial begins this week, and at the same time, Ghislaine Maxwell goes on trial. I mean, who are you going to watch? And what do you think is going to happen in these two riveting cases? Hey, thanks for joining Profiling Evil for this reminder of two big criminal cases that are starting today. The first one we're going to talk about is the fake racist attack on actor Jussie Smollett. And then we're going to bounce over to Ghislaine Maxwell, the predator child groomer for Jeffrey Epstein. But as we get started, I want to take a second and ask you to take a second, hit that like and subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you get all of our notifications. That way, you're going to receive alerts when we release videos like this one. You know, some people seem to have it all, and yet they really don't have a thing. Jussie Smollett was a successful actor and singer. His career started as a child actor in films like The Mighty Ducks and Rob Reiner's North. By 2017, he had more than 20 films under his belt and television programs to boot. He was busy with music videos and he had dozens of single audio hits. His peers were recognizing him as an expert. He got the 1993 Young Artist Award, the Black Entertainment Awards Best Actor, the Teen Choice Awards, and the NAACP Image Awards. But now it seems his image is becoming tarnished. After a few brushes with the law, Smollett upped the ante when he called Chicago police 2 years ago. It was January 2019, reporting that he'd been attacked outside of his apartment building by two men wearing ski masks. Smollett told police and the world that the attackers were using racial and homophobic slurs, shouting things like, "This is MAGA country," and "Make America Great Again." You know, Smollett said the two thugs used their hands, their feet, and their teeth as weapons in the assault. He went on and said they poured an unknown liquid on him before they put a noose around his neck. The world was outraged. Smollett said he fought off his attackers and his support in the community went wild. Everything on social media was talking about this poor guy and his victimization. He was not only a victim, but he was considered a hero. Well, almost 2 months chugged along, and then after the assault, Smollett was charged by a grand jury with a class 4 felony for filing a police report. It seemed the story was made up, but many people weren't buying it. It just didn't fit with the narrative that they'd adopted. And even the uncovered evidence police had didn't seem to matter. Well, Smollett had allegedly hatched the entire plan with two brothers that he paid to feign this assault. But when they were confronted, the accomplices told police everything, including the fact that they were in cahoots with Smollett. Politics then swung into action as the Chicago Police Department appeared to be facing an uphill battle and surprising resistance in charging Smollett with falsifying a police report. By March, things intensified, and all of a sudden, all of the charges against Smollett were mysteriously dropped and the court sealed his records. Then politics swung into action as the Chicago Police Department appeared to face an uphill battle with surprising resistance in charging Smollett with falsifying a police report. By March, things intensified, and all of the charges against Smollett were mysteriously dropped, and the court sealed his records. It was decided, again behind the scenes, that Smollett would perform 16 hours of community service and forfeit his $10,000 bond in return. The city of Chicago rightly was outraged, and they filed a lawsuit a month later against Smollett for the cost of their investigation, an amount they say stretched beyond $130,000. Smollett countered with his own defamation lawsuit against the city of Chicago, alleging that he was a victim of mass public ridicule and harm. Again, he was the victim. He argued that he shouldn't have to reimburse the city for all of the work they did on his false report. Well, a year after the initial false report was filed, a Cook County grand jury said enough is enough, and they indicted him on 6 counts pertaining to making 4 different police reports. This is going to be an interesting case to follow this week, and I hope you'll be watching for breaking news on the case. And now, let's just shift gears a little bit and do a pretrial check into the Ghislaine Maxwell trial that starts today. I want to remind you to watch out for our audio podcast later this week with author Kirby Summers. We're going to be talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and Summers' fascinating book, Ghislaine Maxwell, an unauthorized biography. You can catch the podcast on Wednesday at Profiling Evil or any of your favorite podcast platforms, and watch the video version on Friday on our YouTube channel at Profiling Evil. And please, again, consider subscribing. Well, as Maxwell's trial gets underway, watch for compelling testimony from victims like the teenage girl who reported to Palm Beach police that she'd been molested by Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirator, namely Maxwell here. Remember, she was a longtime former girlfriend and associate of Epstein who died by suicide while he was awaiting trial for the sex trafficking charges he faced. Now, the federal judge has to pick a jury from more than 200 candidates in this 6-count indictment of enticing and trafficking underage girls. Maxwell is alleged to have played a key role in a multi-state sex trafficking scheme where she apparently and allegedly befriended and later enticed and groomed minor children to engage in inappropriate acts with Epstein. You know, what I find really troubling is that Maxwell is accused of also being present for and involved in some of the abuse herself. Maxwell's attorney said that she's looking forward to the trial and to walking out of the courtroom uncuffed and unshackled following her acquittal. We're going to see what happens there. Remember, she pled not guilty to the charges and she's proclaimed her innocence nonstop since her arrest in July of 2020. I'm looking forward to learning more about this infamous black book, which supposedly contains contact information for politicians, princes, and power brokers all around the world. So I hope you'll take a moment and let me know which case you're most interested in and why. I'm going to be reading your comments down below, and I look forward to the interactions that you'll have one with another. Now, on a more prescriptive note, I want to know, do you think the Smollett case will be centered on his false police report, or is this going to become a discussion based on racial bias? Hey, and don't miss choir practice tonight in our Ask Mike Anything segment. We're going to be talking about whatever you want to talk about. And I'm going to be joined by a special guest tonight, Jared Lysick of Adventures with Purpose, as we announce something really cool that's a coming. Hey, and as we approach the holidays, please consider picking up my 2 newest books, Deceived, an investigative memoir of the Zion Society cult, and She Knew No Fear. You can get hardbound signed copies at a special bundled price. It's like $20 off. You can do that by visiting our website at profilingevil.com. And if you found this video to be interesting and educational, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button, ring the bell so that you get the notifications, and look for us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. We'll see you soon at the next crime scene.